Am I muted? No, I'm not muted this time. What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos Cushionata from the channel Frost and Fist, and not Freak in the box below me. We have our lovely Lady Dragon from the Gamecraft Dragon. Say hello, Lady Dragon.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, no D today. You're stuck with just me.
So, guys, I do apologize for being late to my own show once again. But it wouldn't be a Frosted Fist live stream without some technical difficulties. And as you can see from this, from the actual title, we are streaming from an actual potato. So, in fact, earlier today, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do a show at all, and couldn't get my computer to stay on for more than 10 minutes without shutting itself down. It was...
You need to get a new computer.
Yeah, that I do, actually.
Let's get a new computer already, man.
You're right. So we'll see how long we can make this last here. Hopefully it'll be a nice stream. I had to get some backup tonight in the form of the lovely Lady Dragon joining me tonight, because I figured if I'm just going to be sitting here streaming by myself, frustrated with the computer, we're not going to have good content. I'm just going to be angry and grouchy about my computer, and then of course, you know, it's not going to be a good time. It's not going to be a good time. So to make sure that it's a good time, we decided to put on a pretty face so we can talk about some Warhammer stuff.
Are you sure you're not going to be complaining later about the speculation that is going on around the community and what they're announcing tomorrow?
There's lots, and you know what? I might get salty at some point, but I think the salt that I have about that particular subject is well documented on this show, and I think that's an altogether different salt than me just wanting to office space my computer.
Okay, this is true. This is the true thing.
I'm going to catch up on the chat, and then we'll kick things off as usual with a hobby update.
Not a problem. Let's see what all of our friends are up to.
There's some speculation on the perpetual potato possibilities here. We've got our Smash Captain Archer. We've got Shameless Soul in the chat. Good evening, brother Ethan. Ian. I figured it out. Turns out the laptop is just a stock image. No wonder why the stream won't run on it. You're right. Actually, I think a stock image might hold up a little better. A freak's a girl. I knew it. Oh.
Much quicker than I am. I'm sorry, guys. It's a true statement, and I don't have a bow tie.
Hey, we
have some bow ties at work, and I almost bought some freak a rainbow one.
Oh, it's very professional for me to get up in the middle of my own stream. But I think professionalism went out the window a while back.
Professionalism went out when we had to hook the three potatoes together there.
I think when I punted the computer earlier, I think that was the end of professionalism there. But if I interrupt professionalism for a moment, maybe we can bring back some of the professionalism.
What are you looking for?
Nothing?
What are you doing up there?
Nothing?
Oh dear.
Huh?
Why are you doing that?
Sprucing up the show.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You're really going, what are you doing? Oh, bow tie!
Because bow ties are cool.
Yeah. Well, that's debatable. I still think that doctor's insane, but you know.
I mean, you know, he's no Eccleston, and he's no Tennant, but he's all right. Oh man, I've lost too much weight since the last time I've had this baby on. It's just dangling loosely.
I'll have to get you a new one.
I think it's adjustable.
Hmm?
I said, I think it's adjustable. All right, so we've got Inquisitor Zane. Freak, you've changed, and I'm okay with this. We have Modeling for Advantage.
Hi, Kaiser.
Awesome. Good to see you, Kaiser. Great unboxing today, and awesome. I don't know if I ever went back and commented on it, but awesome midweek update. Zane says, stick that USB into that potato and let's go. That's kind of what we're running with right now. Frosted
I
bow
feel like
ties.
there was a couple of wires also involved.
I've been doing quarantine things that could be that could be construed a lot of different ways, Inquisitor Zane.
It's Zane. It fit very well.
Oh, Gondo, we got Freak in the chat says I like how yours is black and mine is purple. 5 out of 10, not enough stripping on this stream. Jeez.
Put that damn.
Yep, Gondor was Freak's old WoW name, and actually in D&D now he still plays Gon. He switched it to Gon for short, so we make a lot of references like Gone with the Wind, Gone in 60 seconds. So, big shout out. So you guys have noticed Freak is not here tonight. Freak is still out ill, and a couple of just a couple minor updates. He has seen the doctor this week. Again, it is something else. It is something not COVID related. Just for anyone who's worried about that. But for what he is seeing the doctor for, it's been just tests and hurry up and wait kind of stuff. So he's still out. He's still in pain. He's on some good drugs. Yep. So.
Apparently, very good drugs.
So he's rested up, and huge kudos for Freak, who managed to help me get my potato running while out sick. So, I mean, big kudos to Freak. Darklight Dreamer, my brother and amazing GM for our D&D sessions and other RPs, says, I heard that Gone in 60 Seconds was actually going to be the name of the autobiography. So if he writes a novel about himself, that might be what he calls it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. It's just, stay away from the limes, Freak. No, not Corona. Not Corona.
I am glad to hear that that is the case, that it is not. I was a little worried.
Yeah. As soon as he was missing the first week, everybody was concerned, reasonably so. And then after the first week, huh?
I started getting concerned after the second.
Yeah.
I heard that it's still out, then I'm going,
Yep. So, a lot of people making that same jump in logic. I just want to let everybody know we're thankful he's in pain, but well, I mean, not now that he's gone to good drugs, but he's all right. It's not the bad stuff.
All right, that's good to hear.
All right, so hobby update, Lady Dragon. What you been working on? What you got for a poke chop?
Well, this Freak is here. He'll get to have a sneak peek over a video that's actually going to be placed up shortly by Dee and myself. It was a collab where I painted a figure and he did the base. She's all finished, so I present to everyone a very special, very freakalicious weird girl.
A weird girl. We got an orc HQ choice, Freak, to kick off the army right with a custom Lady Dragon and Gamecraft Dragon paint job. That's pretty amazing.
That was one, and then the other one is a very special present for a very special other friend.
Hold on one sec.
Who I happen to have ahead of me.
Yep. Everybody says you are super low. Let me see if I can adjust your volume.
Is there any way I can do it, maybe?
Possibly.
I have no idea. I'll have you.
I don't think there's a way for me to adjust on my end. Not that I can see.
Let's see if this works. Alright, I am testing.
Huge tracks of mushrooms. That thing looks awesome, says Darklight Dreamer. Gondor says, ooh, me likey.
Good. Let's see. Do I have any way that I can up my own volume?
See,
I don't know how to do any of this, man.
I feel you, I feel you, Hell, child, but see, the only volume I have on the right to adjust is our overall volume. I don't have one specifically for her mic. A little better, but still low. Oof. Okay, see if I can spike this up a little bit. I'm going to get louder, so I'll try not to get too excited. Um, but it is quite spiked up on my end now, so that should hopefully up our overall volume.
Let me know, guys, if you're still having problems.
Again, I am I am not the usual tech person on the show, so I think I've adjusted everything I can adjust.
I know nothing about it. This is all my husband's stuff.
Full screen here while you're at it, Mythos. That's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion, but
No. But in the meantime, she's trying to hockey box.
wow.
So I guess I'll just try and talk louder, maybe?
Yeah, I guess just project a little. But you were saying?
So the next figure that I did finish up is also for another very special friend that he and I have many, many thanks to give. As a matter of fact, he's right up there. So
Where?
here I sent to you.
I'm going to switch over. Ooh, that is a sexy, sexy orc. Them words don't usually go together. That is awesome. I love. That's it. That's my war boss right there.
With
That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We'll have videos up showcasing them, and we'll hopefully have them mailed off to their respective new owners shortly. And then the other little thing I have this little guy. He's only half painted, but he's so much fun. His name is Gato Sicarius.
Who's that cute little guy?
It's a little cat wearing an ultramarine helmet.
Nice. Oh, Kato. Okay, I got it.
Gato Sicarius.
That's super cute. That's super cute.
That was a present from my husband. He wanted to see if it would work. But the big thing I am currently working on is this lovely lady.
That's going to be epic. That's going to be really epic.
It is a figure that was actually designed and it's available for print by Sigmar because of the fact that he is actually going to be doing some teaching on how to paint like fabric and fur and leather and hair on this. Eventually, I don't know when the classes are, so I recommend you check out his stuff. But hubby got this for me and has convinced me to do her in the style that I did the orcs in.
Nice. You said that was on Squidmarsh channel?
Yeah, Squidmark, he's got a bunch of them actually that he designed specifically to do painting tutorials with so that people can paint along with him. She does come with a sword and a shield, but as their locations make it very hard to get to certain parts of her body, they will be painted after I do her front piece.
That makes sense. Oh, nice. And I think you said you're going to paint that up the same way as you did the orcs, right?
Yeah, I had seen this thing where, because as most of you know, I like to find them grays, whereas D likes to do everything in white. I don't get it. He does. It's his thing. Well, I've seen this thing for undershading and underlighting, which was a huge thing I used with her, where she was originally primed all in gray, and then I took Lutheran gray, off-white, and then white scar, and I went up, covered it all in Known Oil, and then did it again.
Nice. That reminds me of Dana Howell's Guide to Zenithal Highlighting.
Yes, actually she's where I got it, and then because I did such a great job with that, we decided to test what would happen if I used only washes and inks. So there is not a single piece of actual paint. This is all nothing but, there's a little bit of contrast in there in a couple of places. like her hair, but then I went through and everything else is just inks and washes.
I'm so excited. She looks so amazing. I can't wait to see her in person.
I'm so happy you picked that. So yes, that's what's been on the bench for me. I could speak for D, but I don't want him because he irritated me earlier. 82 freaking figures. Screw you.
Oh man.
And he was complaining about it. Yeah, he fell 20 short.
Oh, in the chat earlier, he said he got up to 97 before he left. So even closer, only 3 short. Let's see, we've got
I'm not entirely sure where the conversation is going. I wasn't paying attention.
wait, brother Ian, what are we avenging you for? I think I missed something.
Brother, avenge me!
oh, right.
I have also told him I want a bunch of these at like 300% size.
Nice.
And I'm going to put one instead of the bell having the ultramarines. I'm going to do one with the space wolf symbol on it and paint them in space wolf colors.
It's a wolf. It's a cat pup. A pup cat.
It's one of those rare, cyber kitten things from from Fenris, which I was making fun of, and it turns out they are real.
Nice.
There are these huge saber-tooth tiger-like dire cats. I was like, huh? I thought there were only wolves there.
Gondor says you're super cute. I think that's what this is in relation to. Archer says no, you freak, and then Zane says if we're talking about Lady D, I agree. If we're talking about Mythos, I double agree.
There you go. Told you he's the cuter one.
Not at all. Modeling for Adventure says cheater. I wonder if that's in relation to the number of figures that D cranked out this week.
I'm not sure if it's that or I honestly, Kaiser, who are you calling a cheater?
Or maybe it was...
I agree. Ah.
I don't know. Zane, you're going to get him murdered. Lily, don't play like that.
Zane is accusing you of infidelity.
Oh, I can't wait to see her in person. The orc. I met Lily. Agree with Archer. Scary things come in little packages.
Oh. It was a test. I wanted to see. I saw something like it on Miniac. He was talking about somebody else had done a Magnus like that, where they did the entire thing in black and white, and they had took a year, and it was just beautiful. And then the guy airbrushed ink over it, and it was just beautiful. And so I wanted to give it a go.
Hey, I mean, if the master always says to thin your paints, you don't get much thinner than painting in all washes.
Yep, and both of your orcs, just the green, there's something like 2 or 3 layers.
Wow.
And then I also actually used a little bit of yellow to make it pop because D was very, very much against me dry brushing with moot green. Like, don't do it. Ah. So.
Well, it's interesting because actually your original idea, moot green, is the equivalent of necrotite green, which is what I use for my orcs. So it possibly could have been an idea, and I don't know how much different it would have been, but I do know your final result looks amazing. So.
Yep, I was really, really pleased with how they came out, and then I got to have a lot of fun doing green tribal markings on the weird girls, so that was super fun.
That's going to be awesome. And it's interesting because 2 of the figures Freak has gotten from fellow YouTubers, the other one being Malaga War Games, have been psychers, yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, Yeah, no, it was. We were debating between this one and one of a very large, very lovely orc lady with half her head shaved, carrying a giant two-handed spear.
Very cool. I think he would have been happy either way, but this is going to be really good for him because we all
Yeah.
know one of the best orc strategies is to jump something big across the table. So this is going to be
Yeah, we've had a discussion about that, and I went, "How does that even work?"
perfect.
And his response was, "Stop questioning, just accept."
Yep. Because they believes it.
Power medication approved this message.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But, yeah,
I have a big brain idea. Free wolves are free wolves. I don't know what that means, but
I have no idea. It's Zane.
I don't know orc rules, but you can do that with the Stampa. Yeah, absolutely. You can throw something really big across the table. Only joking, of course. I'm painting. Oh, I'm a painting Luddite? Luddite? Do you know that word, Lady D?
Yes, I do. It's basically, for lack of a better phrase, we're just gonna say traditionalist old school.
Oh, okay. Not even a wet palette. No contrast, no wet palette. Only a few step advance from opening tins of enamel paints with my teeth caveman style. Ah, sprinkle on the paint. I don't know how true that is because anytime I watch your guys' battle reports, the armies always look amazing. Your tables look amazing, and it makes for very, very enjoyable viewing. So I wouldn't say that you're over there. How did you phrase that? A few steps advanced from opening tins of enamel paint with your teeth. Yeah, I don't necessarily know how true that is. You have some really excellent looking armies and in a variety of different kinds of battle reports too. I mean, see, that's one of the things I love about your channel is if you go to Modeling for Advantage, you're going to see some tanks battle reports. You're going to see some kill teams, some Warcry, some 40K, Flames of War. You're going to see a nice variety.
Other thing that I printed today that's going to be so much fun.
And because it's all one gray color, why don't you read it out to them?
It says GCD. Epic your game, epic your life.
Isn't that amazing, guys?
It's supposed to be a lid for the tanking cups that we have designed, and Inquisitor Zane actually has been a super, super help with those. He actually was able to do it. We've got one or two, so if anybody wants any, please hit me up or hit me up, and we can get you guys directed towards one. Heinrich Boppa also was the one who actually created the STLs, and he created the STL and the vector for this guy, which I created separately, so that it's supposed to sit on top so your bugs don't get in your water. In my case, it keeps my bloody damn cats out of it.
The fur babies.
Oh my gosh, I love my fur babies. My dog tried to kill me the other day. The big dog, not the little one. And, yeah.
How's your knee, by the way?
Oh my god, it hurts so bad. I have a goose egg that's about this big.
Oof.
Just a giant bruise, and then it turns out, and then I hit my ankle on the step also. So I got some nice deep bruising going on there, and I've got a brace on my ankle at the moment.
That's
He was
not
a very
good.
apologetic puppy. Very apologetic. He hurt mommy and he knew it. How do I have to set it? I don't know how to set
Hellchild says, is a 24 by 24 display board too big? I mean,
it. That's a 2 foot by 2 foot display board. No, it is not.
no, yeah, this seems perfectly logical to carry around. Speaking of oversized display boards, let me show you guys what I've been working on this week.
Yeah.
So I finished just today, not while working, my White Scars Attack bike,
Oh, that's so cool.
which puts me up to 12 models in a week, guys. That's a unprecedented territory for a Wolfbrother. So I went a little extra with the weathering powders around the uh, the base of the bike and stuff like that, and then it's probably not going to show up super well, but you can actually see there's dirt all kicked up in the little foot plate here where the gunner's riding. You can just imagine while this part is skimming along the desert floor, some of those rocks and sand are bouncing up into the the little foot plate there. And of course, I had to do the burn effects at the end of my multi-melta. So you can see that little bit of blue popping out from all that grungy white, black, gray, and red there. A little brightness there. So got my orc skulls there at the basing, little bushes. So I like how it came out. And something I wanted to talk about. I decided, you guys may have heard me say before that I can't stand, I've tried multiple times to do Badger. I can't do Badger. I just don't have the brush control for it. I always feel like I'm hosing stuff down or trying to put out fires.
Yeah.
I feel like I've come a long way with my airbrushing skill, so I ordered myself a new needle for my airbrush and decided to give Badger another try. So broke out the Badger, put in the new needle, got a blue tip this time, which is one of their fine detail ones, and actually, I don't know if it'll show super well, but you'll be able to see there's some bright red area in the center of the flat panels there. There's some bright red, and it fades out to black red kind of along the edges and stuff like that. And that's because my control with the airbrush has improved to the point where I was able. So I painted all the red areas. They were completely black at first, and I went in with the Badger and got super close, cut my air pressure super low, and managed to just get in and actually managed to put a highlight in the center of this small panel with my airbrush. And that,
That's an achievement award.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of red to black transition if I can get my focus right. But that is a level of control I did not have before. So I think, I'm not saying necessarily that me and Badger are back together, but we're in the process of mending. There we go. There's that red to black transition. Process of mending our relationship. So I put white on top of black in those areas, and then I created a filter by using a lot of contrast medium and a little bit of Blood Angels red and tinting over the top. So
very cool.
I specifically did this because of Brother Big D, who, when I did my first White Scar bikes, said, "Man, you've got no shading on any of that red," which he wasn't wrong. I really didn't have any shading on any of that red. But so I went back and I found a way to, not make the red so bold and in your face, nice and shaded down, So that
we're talking to the man that can't tell the difference between the different tones in color.
he was right though. He was right.
Red is red. No, it's really not here.
X Gear Commander, good evening, my man. Modeling for Advantage says, I just come here for the plugs. And not even intentional plugs, just genuinely enjoying your content. Zane says, moving over filaments tonight, so I should be set for the next 19 or so. I guess 19 days?
No, cups.
Oh, okay.
You've actually been making a bunch of the painting cups for us. It says prime for licking on one side.
Oh, nice. It's an Inquisitor Zane sweatshop.
Right.
Modeling
I didn't know how much it would cost. And he was like, oh, I got it.
I'm just playing.
Printing them out. Holy shit, man.
Kaiser says, boo, it's not a Space Wolf. Honestly, it was just a half-finished project I had sitting around. So I was just like, I finished my orcs this week, and I hadn't had a chance to sit down and build any of my Prophecy of the Wolf this week. So I was like, okay, what's half-finished? I can hurry up and try and get finished. So that's why I finished the attack bike. I have not found painting the attack bike an enjoyable experience. So when I did my white shading, my 3 or 4 layers of white, I actually primed up 3 attack bikes all at once. But because I wasn't enjoying painting them, I only painted twice in one of them in one go and left the other 2 to do later. I mean, obviously, I do want to paint what I have. I'll come back to them at some point. But I'm just finishing the one for now.
Trust me, me. He was giving me a hard time. He found most of my Drukari recently, and he's like, "Are you ever gonna paint this?" Yes.
Hobby butterflies. Ooh, I want to paint this. Ooh, I want to paint this. Ooh, I want to paint this.
Well, between that and working on a couple of commissions and some
That's true.
colors, then my brilliant self decided, you know what would be really cool? A Final Fantasy VII fanfic that has nothing to do with the game.
Actually, so I have a whole, and guys, I'm about to lose like 400 subscribers here. So I actually have a fanfic I also started since 7 originally came out. That is something my brother and I worked on, and it's, again, I think good fan fictions are things that don't affect the main story.
Yes.
Because I always feel like it's a little Mary Sue when you interfere too much with the main story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I always try and set my stories parallel to the main story. And so my brother and I, we have this thing where we start or we're part of a division of Shinra way back in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start this off. My favorite part of all of Final Fantasy is the Turks. The Turks.
Oh my god, they're so freaking awesome. And I've
Yes.
so much about them lately.
The Turks are my absolute favorite. So my brother and I, we were members of the Turks in a department called the Negotiation Division. And so basically, if it was something where, you know, like when you read about, oh my gosh, my memory. When you read about the ninja villages and how Shinra's off trying to buy up all the properties around the ninja villages, and it's causing, kind of doing the Native American thing to them where Shinra keeps crowding them onto smaller and smaller lands, you know?
Yeah, until they were forced to fight back, and that's what sparked the whole Blood War.
Yeah. So, with that idea, that concept, Raz and I are both part of that a negotiation division, and so basically Shinra tries the money approach first to buy out properties and land and stuff like that. When that doesn't work, they send in their negotiation division with a contract, and whether it's by charisma or bloodshed, that contract is going to be signed by the end of the night. So.
Mine actually, the whole idea, nothing to do with the game. Same world, same characters, slight change, no game. My whole idea was, what do you think would happen if you had a battle royale / Hunger Games / Survivor?
Nice.
The whole premise that I sorry, I'm looking over this path. The whole premise is that Shinra has decided that there's too many people out there grumbling, so they decided to make some examples from the different areas that are under their control so that you would think twice about potentially crossing them. So they've taken 2 people from each area. There's 7 areas altogether, including the capital, and they're all put on the island where the Knights of the Round is.
Nice.
Well, here's the whole thing, is that if you've ever read or seen any of the Battle Royale styled movies, either the Japanese or the American-made one, if you try to leave, you die.
Right. They explode. I've only read bits of the manga. I haven't actually seen any of the movies.
There was an American version that was done where it was a mafia group that was doing it, and they had snipers watching the wall, and it was all taking place in prison. So if you tried to climb the walls or get out, they would just shoot you. So the whole idea is that they've taken these 14 people and have basically drugged them, dropped them in, varying places around this island, and are basically told, survive. They have no idea what's going on. Well, while they're doing that, Shinra has sent their 3 best generals onto the island to deal with the traitors. So Sephiroth, Genesis, and Angeal end up showing up on the 2nd day, and they're just like, that's a 5-year-old kid. You want us to kill a child? Because Marlene's one of the people.
Okay.
And then, because they're basically. They want to test loyalties. They want to see whether survival instincts, and the whole thing's being broadcasted for it. So everybody knows this is what happens if you cross us. And then they take a group of second-class soldiers, and then they go, there's a traitor on this island. Kill them and survive, and we'll make you first class. But they're not told that the first class are on the island. So they think that one of those three must be the traitor.
Oof.
And it just goes on from there, and then at one point, I've actually got it slotted by Dave, and at one point they end up releasing a bunch of Hojo monsters onto the island, just to spice things up.
Right, as you do.
And that's about as far as I've gotten.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm still in the idea phase. So, yeah.
So we have a whole lot of chat. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for turning up. Let's see. You broke a badger. Man, that's dark. Just the tip of the needle. Just the tip. I just had to get myself a new needle. Quick repair. 2 seconds. And actually gave me the chance to upgrade to a precision tip. And like I said before, I literally, before, I did not have the control to manage my badger. I had, it was really good if I wanted to base coat an entire tank, an entire dragon, the living room walls, the back patio deck. All of these things were applications for my Badger before, but as far as precision control on a model, I couldn't do it with the Badger. And eventually, the way the needle got damaged was, finally, I just said, you know what, I've had enough of this. I went back to my cheap $20 Masters and had put the Badger in my cup full of brushes and stuff like that. Eventually, so it had just been sitting in disuse for months. And eventually the cup got knocked over, airbrush spilled out of the cup, and hit the floor needle first. So, I mean, it was like the needle was only $8. It was no big deal.
But still, it's one of those, dang it.
Yeah.
That's 8 minutes out of my day that I could have been using to paint. At least that's what Dee says.
We need Freak for big pictures. I'm watching the bed on phone. If I weren't fighting with the potato, I possibly could have had big pictures ahead of time. At some point, though, I'll let the lovely lady take over talking for a little bit, and I will try and get some big pictures together for you. As far as far away pictures, though, the reason why I brought all this up while we were talking about whether or not Hellchild's display board would be too big is because I also have an overly sized display board right at the moment. Which is an awesome piece of terrain I got from my brother Atlas, or Forge the Wild, as he's sometimes known as on here. And I've been using it to kind of showcase my 11 orc boys, my very first start to my orc army lately. And it feels good to get 12 models done in a week. Like, that is not normally in my skill set. I'm a painstakingly slow painter, but managed to get some work done this week.
Who you telling?
Preaching to the choir, I know. But I will try and get some stills for you later in the show, Kaiser, I promise. And I'll try not to make it too much later because I know you got to get some sleep. Then we do want to catch up on the chat. Yeah, and I did get the brand new badass compressor I was telling everybody about last week on stream, but if you weren't here last week, thanks to our support from our amazing patrons, I had a compressor. It was a 4-year-old compressor. Finally gave out and died on me this week. And thanks to our amazing patrons, I managed to get a significant upgrade. That is
Very nice.
It's a big old beast with 2 fans on it. So, there will be no overheating. See how big that fan is there? It's got it's got a moisture trap on it. It's got 2 handles for the to hold your airbrushes. It's got a big old tank on it. So, honestly, when I've noticed that for the best fine detail stuff, I can actually fill up the tank, cut the pressure down to super, super low, and just go in and just off of the residual air in the tank, just get in a nice, fine, controlled burst. It's pretty nice. So thank you so much to our patron support for helping me continue painting when my equipment died. I appreciate that. Axe Gear Commander says, happy freaking Friday. Jam Jar says, hi, you spicy lot. The Dino Master is here. Hey, everyone. Just stopping by to check the potato stream. Kaiju, so good to see you, my brother.
Hi, Kaiju, my darling.
Kaiju is good people. Guys, definitely go check out his channel for a variety of awesome content, including everything from Sentai stuff, Godzilla stuff, very cool stuff. Some Gundam stuff has made its way on there. Some really cool content. And speaking of cool content, we've got Oni Studio and the Miniatures Paintbrush, two really incredibly talented detail painters.
Hello, my darling. Always so happy to see you. And I see my Jam Jar also.
Yep. Spicy. I think he's on 51 days of content in a row. 51 days. It's amazing. Content every single day.
It's crazy, man. Real quick, Blake Chubb wanted me to show you this. It's in progress. So work in progress. They're working on putting their...
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love Plague Child's Necrons. Good evening, Plague Child.
Hi. I'm sitting here while I'm waiting for my cupcakes to bake. Wait, I thought you were baking me cookies. I'm making cupcakes first, and then I'm going to cool while I make the cookies. It's efficient.
See, she's got an efficient plan in place.
And while the cookies are baking, I'm going to make the frosting. Pretty sure this is so I don't eat the cookies before the cupcakes are done. Yes. Anyway, let's see what we got.
With Rob in the chat, kudos, big congrats to Rob in the chat for completing his entire Flesh Eater Quartz. I want to say Flesh Eater Quartz. His New Year, New Army project, finished with the entire army in only 5 months. Super impressive.
She's so cute, man. That's super impressive. Yeah,
And the level of quality, I mean, they all look absolutely phenomenal.
okay. Now Liddy's going, well, I gotta go back to my stuff now.
I mentioned earlier I was going to lose subscribers. Thomas said unsubscribing and resubscribed. Lily really enjoyed the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm so stoked. I'm almost done with Dragon Age Inquisition, so I'll be able to play it myself.
I'm still waiting to save up enough money to get a PlayStation 4 so I can play the remake, because the whole fact that there's a dude who looks like one of my favorite actors, Eccleston, wearing a leather bodysuit and dancing with Cloud. Dude.
That's fair. That's a valid reason.
I kind of really had to use playing the Dragon Age Inquisition on my computer.
Nice. I'm only like 6 years late, finally getting around to finishing Inquisition.
This child has played it through multiple times. I've played with like every single possible route, every single possible like personality.
I played all 10 saves on the original Origins and then had to delete room to make a new character.
Oh, I got that. I played like Origins a million times, and then I played Dragon Age 2 millions of times, and it just keeps going. And then I go back and play it all over again through full on.
I think Origins and the Knights of the Old Republic are my favorite video, and of course 7. Those are my top 3 favorite games of all time.
Origins is an amazing game, and I love it so much. I have a little bit too much of a love for an old PlayStation 1 game called Xenogears.
Xenogears is amazing. I've still got the collector's edition strategy guides around here somewhere.
I have the original game.
Nice. I've got that packed up somewhere too. My PS1 games are still in a box somewhere.
I still have the original Final Fantasy VII case, the one with the misprint on it.
Nice.
And I am not giving the thing.
Oh, and Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics is also on my top list.
Sorry, I just see something from Kaiser that now makes me both love and hate him so very, very much. He got to see my dearest love. I mean, he is my Hollywood crush, man. Christopher Eccleston on stage.
Very nice. Oh, man. That's awesome, Kaiser. That is so awesome.
Best doctor, in my opinion, hands down, next to Tom Baker.
I have a tie for Tennant and Eccleston for myself.
I just wanted to see the two of them interact.
I get judged every single time I say that I love 11.
Yeah, she loves the psychopathic, murderous puppy dog. And a fez.
So what I love about him,
Matt Smith?
Yes, the 11th Doctor. I call him a murderous puppy and a fez. I can prove this.
Okay.
When Amy goes missing and him and Rory are trying to find her, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen this, Rory goes, I have a message from the doctor and I have a question for you. And he goes, where's my wife? And then the dude goes, why should we answer you? And in the background, one of the other Cybermen ships that holds like a chunk of their freaking race blows up.
I mean, you steal a couple's daughter and a man's wife. I mean, there are bound to be repercussions.
No. But the doctor always gives you an option. This dude doesn't. He just happily kills.
I mean, they had the option. They chose to steal his wife.
Well, they didn't do it. They weren't the ones who did it.
That's fair. That's fair.
The worst part is they're not. It was the Cybermen. The Cybermen had nothing to do with it. No, there was that crazy militant church group.
yeah, but they didn't deny it.
Okay.
Never mind. We'll talk
I'm
about
going to try and catch up on the chat real quick. Lupus Canis says to smash that like button. Thank you so much, my brother. Good to see you. Kaiju says I'd read the Fantastic Adventures of Mythos the Chocobo. What? Funny story about that. So my brother and I were watching this old sitcom called Wings. Way early. I think I was in like 7th grade at the time.
I freaking remember that show. Thomas Hayden Church was on it.
And one of the episodes was one of the brothers gets hypnotized to where anytime that somebody says tortilla, what? The brother has to cluck like a chicken. So my brother and I have this running joke that that I got hypnotized, and anytime that anybody says tortilla, work, I got to work like a chocobo. And so I do this now forever in life as an unfailing rule, even when we're out to dinner in Mexican restaurants. Like, it confuses the wait staff, but I do it. It's a lifelong rule I have to hold to.
And confirmed.
See, Lily will tell you. I once had this poor waiter so confused, but it was a life rule. I could not do it.
Did you at least explain it to that poor man?
Nope. Nope. Just let them be confused.
It's funnier that way.
Amazing.
It's Jamjar says, "Wow, Matt channel magic. It says freak, but Lady D is here. Magical magic." Yep. I needed some support tonight. So I was having a problem with my potato computer before the show tonight, and having someone be able to chat with, like the lovely Lady Dragon and the Plague Child there, helps me not just sit here and stew on technical issues. And of course, I get to have some fun chatting with people about the hobby. So it's a win-win here. All right, so we got Lupus says, Roos. Come on.
Child showed up a few minutes ago saying,
What?
sorry, habit. I apologize. It's your show. I'll shut up.
Lupus says, come on, slackers, push that like button. Just the tip, that's what she said, Mythos. Oh yeah, that broke just the tip of the badger.
Hi, Zane.
I didn't notice.
Oni has the Sotar 2020 for precision and the Badger Patriot for bigger stuff and my Cheapo for base coats. I need to work on my display board for my Flesh Eater Court, says TMP. Fungus attacks. I guess that was the orcs. Still 12 more than me. That's because you've been spending your time, instead of painting, doing some badass kit bash conversions. And I can't wait to see when you get your channel going. All these amazing kit bashes and conversions really are going to be, I think, awesome on your channel.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Well, so,
Freak cranked out a theme song for his channel, so he's already got a good start for his channel.
Woo! Now I'm jealous.
Mini Warmut says, I'm going to bust out some hero clicks to catch up. Nice.
Oh, yes, hero clicks.
I had to find half a trumpet in a scrapyard. That's what I use for airbrushing. Whatever works, my brother.
Hey, if it works for him, it works for him. Say anything.
everything's clean up.
Your compressor makes your laptop jealous. Mythos. I've got a nice, beefy, technological beast for a compressor, and I'm streaming on a potato. It is a little backwards, isn't it?
Nah. We're artists.
Yeah, priorities, artistic priorities.
Yeah. We're artists. We're not tech people.
The miniatures paintbrush, the thing that addicted me to his channel to begin with, will be going back to the wolves after some palate cleansers. Yes.
Can't wait to see that.
So can I destroy you at online games?
The discussion regarding the PlayStation 4.
Oh, right. Why aren't you wearing your tie, Mythos? I actually had it on earlier, and I've lost too much weight. I've got to tighten up the bow tie because it just keeps hanging loose.
It was very, very.
I thought all psycho killers wear fez. Fez is a cool.
Yeah, that isn't great. Wait, is that when Aladdin is a psychopath?
Probably.
We've got the Smash Captain Commodore in the chat.
Howdy, my darling.
Gondor says, Freak's estrogen level says finally maxed. Okay, we are caught up in the chat. What were we talking about?
I still maintain that Freak is cuter than me, guys. But thank you.
I got to quote the Taco Girl. Why not both?
What? Alright, so, what shall we talk about now, my brother?
Well,
Have you had a chance to talk about what's on your bench?
yes. Well,
I don't
so-
know, we've been jumping around. That's why I asked.
my actual plan is to crack this open this weekend and start building her up. And so I'm going to start with, because a lot of people said orcs first, I'm probably going to start with the Mega Knobs out of that box, especially since D actually picked out the Mega Knobs as an orc set out of that box to start with. And I have another box of 3. So I'm probably going to build up 5 Mega Knobs and then 1 Big Mech in Mega Knob armor, so that way I can get the force field going. So there's assembly in my weekend, but I have yet to even touch my brush yet, but I pulled out my Defcopter to start slapping some paint down on. I tend to have, and I don't know if you do this when you're painting, do you have any I don't want to focus projects? So like, I finished up my attack bike over a period of like two and a half months, something like that. Just because anytime I'm between, huh?
That would have been my rate. It took me a year to finish.
Oh.
the thing.
Yeah, just anytime I have a project, I'm between other projects, and I'm like, I don't really want to think. I'm about to do a stream. I'm just gonna toss a little paint down on it. It was the attack bike, and then before that, my land speeder. Just something I could just chip away at and not really have to, be too invested in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Those are my best.
that's my Defcopter tonight.
He's just going to be kind of, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Honestly, I started doing these ones with the way that I'm doing it, with the, the high brush and then the undercoat and then the, doing the undercoat zenithal thing. I started doing that because I just needed a small break from the obscene amounts of night haunts I had been doing.
Yep.
And it just kind of ended up evolving because we actually have something running on the printer right now that is a present actually for Brother Rob over at Team.
Ooh. Don't give too much away. He's here in the chat.
I'm not giving. Just a thank you for being, awesome. And then I have another one that our dear brother Hellchild has asked me about.
Very nice.
It's an Alagoon Mars. We just got this from a couple weeks ago, and it has been running non-stop because D is insane.
You mean non-stop?
It has only been turned off twice.
One to switch out the print bed, right? Or the screen.
Okay, fine now.
And once when it ran out of resin, right?
Well, once when I happened to get up in the middle of the night and it was done printing, so I turned it off. And then when we ran out of resin, and yeah. And then once when we had to change the bed up.
See,
My husband's crazy.
I don't often get off work and whatnot in time to make your live streams and stuff like that. But I always watch the next morning.
Yep, so you get to see a lot of the craziness that occurs.
It broke my heart one day when I was watching. You did a Ferngully line that nobody picked up on, and it's a Ferngully line that Lily and I quote to each other all the time.
I do it to him all the time, and he doesn't get it.
I was like,
Why?
And this is why. So you make nerdy references, I need to be there.
It's Robin Williams. How can you not get a Robin Williams? Oh. Of course, then again, I quote movies at him all the friggin' time, and he'll look at me like, what?
that's usually being Freak. Actually, Freak throws quotes at me all the time, and I like throwing quotes at people too. But for some reason, like the particular ones that Freak throws at me, I just haven't seen those particular movies. So it drives him crazy. But oh man, I loved it. You sure? Positive. Only fools are positive. Are you sure?
Sure.
Positive. But you just...
Go for it!
I should have known.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. It's just, I maintain that movie has possibly one of the creepiest villains imaginable.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Texas
One of my favorite
freaks me out.
Also, I think that movie is responsible for why I love Fairy Girls. It's probably...
Krista.
That probably was an influence growing up.
I know a friend, my brother-in-law, his first born daughter from his previous marriage, he actually named Krista.
Nice.
Yeah. But, yep. D is at a monthly D&D game right now, and I am here painting slowly but surely through stuff, and I've got a number of missions I need to get through tomorrow so I can get them colored. Get them colored and get them off to who they belong to.
Are you skipping Art of the Week once again this week, Mythos? Okay, see, so what's going to happen is here in a minute I'm going to put Lady Dragon on the spot and make her talk to you guys. And while you guys are focused on her, I'm going to attempt to pull up some Art of the Week real quick. But I've warned her now. Speaking of how cool fezzes are, it's important. One day your life might depend on it. I am a madman with a box. Insanity is a sign of genius, or is genius a sign of insanity? I forget which.
Yes.
Because Mythos is sheltered. I would definitely not classify myself as sheltered. I mean, yes, I forgot. Mythos the Pure. I forgot to tell you guys how I'm actually I'm actually the patron saint of innocence. So Mythos the Pure. Some call me.
So basically, you're saying I need to get that Archangel-esque figure that I was going to kit bash into our beautiful Golden Hawk boy and put your head on it instead.
See, there we go. Mythos the innocent. Mythos the pure. In fact, if any of you have played Final Fantasy VIII, they actually sing about me at the beginning of Final Fantasy VIII. The chorus goes, Mythos innocent. See? Okay.
You know, I played that, or I recorded that entire opening sequence. And I showed it for my econ project, and a bunch of people are like, "Do you have more of that video?"
Here we go.
Do I want to know what that was about?
Oh, I was refocusing my camera.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, if it goes out of focus sometimes, it's because it's focusing on something closer than your face. I think it keeps picking up the microphone. And so you put your hand up to the camera, slowly pull it back, and it kind of re-engages the autofocus.
Okay, now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Oh, God.
Awful first movie, but God, did I love the bad guys.
Oh, man. Gondor says, I just threw up in my mouth.
You know what? We don't want you to.
Wow. Mini Warmutt says, Mythos sounds like a breath mint. Man, I cannot tell you how many times growing up my name was... 99% of the pronunciation for my name was Mentos. I've also gotten, of course, living here in Texas, Mikos, Mitos, Mentos, of course, and then, I kid you not, okay, once in a factory, one of the older guys, who was, by the way, one of those that you could tell spent the 70s just lit, he's just like, your name's too hard, I'm just going to call you Meth.
Don't forget Mufasa.
Oh, and my sister-in-law, when I met her for the first time, she said, your name's too hard, I'm just going to call you Mufasa, which I was okay with. I'll happily be Mufasa.
Mufasa. I can dig it.
Mufasa, 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 Mufasa!
We do that to each other, too.
Meat toast. Darklight Dreamer from our Knowing is Half the Battle says, Go, Joe. Oh, man. I'm uploading videos for my students' homework assignments currently. Well, thank you for joining us while taking care of homework. Meathead? Lol meth. Yep, that was unfortunately, yeah, that was an actual pronunciation of my name at work for a while, and because he was the lead material handler and I was just one of his understudies, I had to actually work with the name Meth for a while. It was crazy. He does like resin. I need to borrow your sweats? Chancho. It's the best Chancho. Oh, Nacho Libre. There we go. All right. So, pick a topic, Lady Dragon, and engage the chat for a little bit, and I will try to throw together some art of the week because Lupus, thank you so much for joining us, man. You have a great rest. Enjoy your sleep. Stay safe and good hunting to you as well, my man. For us, for the All-Father.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Something that I can talk about that's not potentially degrading to my husband because he left me unattended. Well, we can either. I'll let you guys pick. We can either take a stab at what do you think about the speculations involving tomorrow morning's or tomorrow day, depending on where you live. Reveals for what's coming in Warhammer, or we can...
Oh, and you know I'm going to bitch about that.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. That's why I'm trying to, maybe I'll be nice and not do that. I can't sing that song. I don't know that song, Kaiser. I cannot sing Poker Face. Sorry, honey. Why do I think Magnus did nothing wrong? I didn't say Magnus did nothing wrong. I think he got blamed for a lot more than he should have been blamed for. And I think that he kind of got the short end of the stick
But I also recognize that given the timing of when said thing happened, it is a logical jump to think that people would be so on edge that they wouldn't want to hear what he had to say. They're just going to make assumptions because at that point, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly, by the time he did the jump into the palace and accidentally unleashed a bunch of demons, they had already known that there was a traitor, they just didn't know who it was. Well, the Emperor knew because the Emperor knows everything, and I think that backfired on him kind of bad. Unless I'm missing something here, but hey, who knows? Hi, Meeks. So I was going to say, who's everybody's favorite Primarch? Because I know that there are speculations that a Primarch is going to be revealed with the big preview that's coming, and a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Fulgrim, because throughout the Psychic Awakening, he's been talked about quite a bit. I know many, many people are hoping it'll be Russ, but there's really been no talk about Russ.
Well,
if they were to reveal a Loyalist Primarch, however, I think they're going to do Lion.
Not recently, although he did show up at the end of Curse of the Wolfen, but of course that was the end of 7th edition. But I mean, he shows up for like a half second, and then wanders back off into the mist. So, what's up with it? What's up with that, Dad? Jeez.
Who is this incarn... What? Incarn of...
Dude, he's your brother, man. I have no idea what Freak's trying to say. Incarnation. Who is this incarnation?
Incarnation?
What incarnation?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what he's talking about. Yes, I can sympathize with Magnus.
Okay, but see, the whole Magnus did. I'm gonna talk about that for a hot minute. Okay, so you mentioned Magnus did nothing wrong, but by the time, I mean not you, but people in general.
Well, yeah, there's that whole Magnus did nothing wrong, kind of like Thanos did nothing wrong.
But honestly, so even before the whole, shattering, his dad's workroom and stuff like that, I think a lot of people forget. Magnus had accidentally bonded his entire planet to made familiars out of demon spirits because he thought they were benevolent spirits called tutories before. His entire planet bonded to demons, bonded as familiars.
Yeah.
So all of their souls were already. Yeah, their souls were already demon fodder by the time that the whole thing happened on Terra. So he was actually corrupted long before the incident in the throne room. But a lot of people forget that.
Oh, no. I get it. Again, there's this part of me that thinks that maybe the Emperor had been a little bit more paying attention to his children and not his secret little project that he didn't want to tell anybody about. I can't say that the Emperor was, world's greatest dad there, considering he did let his sons get kidnapped by Chaos.
I think when Chaos chooses to kidnap your kids, I don't know how much say you get in the matter.
Well, according to him, he's so, badass and powerful that they're nothing to him, so how did that happen? Anyway, that's a whole other matter. But no, I found it really interesting because I think that a lot of this probably could have been avoided had the Emperor probably been a little bit more forthcoming with his sons. Instead of going, Magnus, don't do that, that's bad. Why? It's something that's widely practiced on the planet that he was raised on, and all of a sudden he's got this guy that goes, I'm your father. Don't do that. That's bad. Without any explanation.
While I get that,
I just feel that maybe a
probably would have gone a little bit quicker if you went, dude, those aren't spirits, those are fucking demons. Oh. Sorry.
There is that. Although if the temptation was there, there's always the possibility that some of them may have fallen sooner, though.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, Horus had learned about the fact that if I give my souls to demons, I can have more power than my father. Boom! 5 minutes later, he's already signed up for the other team, wearing the T-shirt, selling the merchandise.
Well, in his defense, he did have Logar whispering in his ear, going, "How do you really much do you know about our father? Hmm? How do you know he's really our dad in the first place? Do you know anything about him?"
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, especially Erebus.
If you want to blame anybody, blame Logar.
Even before that, Erebus freaking screw that a-hole.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to show the Commodore's work, but I want to wait until he's on.
I think he was here a minute ago.
No, I mean, I want to. I'd like to get him on the show.
I'm sorry. TMP says, "Hey Magnus, how's Prospero? Do you hear that howling? Oh, that's karma, buddy." Commodore says, "Damn right, you better wait." By the way.
Freak, I hope you.
Good night, Freak. Rest up well, my brother. Thank you for your help tonight. I know it had to be rough trying to deal with me while I'm hopped up on meds, so I appreciate you helping out, man. And the quest for knowledge, some people are stupid. That applies to modern day.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, I think that given the whole state of everything, because there was miscommunications going on everywhere, I think that there was some behavior was questionable at best. I think people were too quick to point fingers, and I don't excuse Magnus for what he did. I just don't. I don't know. I find him sympathetic. Some of
Yeah.
the Primarch,
No.
I find very sympathetic.
I really like the book A Thousand Suns because before I read A Thousand Suns, I didn't care about Thousand Suns whatsoever. I always just thought of them as in the 40K. Hey, I'm a wolf, so I have to dislike A Thousand Suns. Go team. But actually, reading A Thousand Suns actually made me really like the Thousand Suns. It made me a lot more sympathetic to him. And I actually really do feel bad for Magnus, although, like.
He made his bed. He's sleeping in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, when you actually read the description of him breaking into the throne room and everybody's recoiling in horror to him, and he's like, why does everyone fear me? And he looks down and he's sheathed in the body of a demon with 1,000 eyes. I was just like, oh, that's horrible. Can you imagine just looking down at your own body and seeing flesh you don't recognize covered in 1,000 eyes?
Yeah,
That's got to be creepy.
and it's like, his heart was in the right place, but, I mean, what was that phrase that I heard from one of my favorite plays? No good deed goes unpunished.
Yep. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yep. I mean, yeah, even Russ felt that. Russ, from everything I've read, Russ did not want to purge Prospero. He didn't want to do it. And it's really interesting because if you read the two books, when you read it from the wolf's point of view, Russ gave Magnus every chance to avoid that from happening, but that's not how Magnus took it. And so when you read the Prospero version of what happened, you kind
The
of
wolves look like a-holes, for sure.
yeah. So it's like once you get to see the both sides
Yep.
of what happened, you kind of get and that's one of the things I like about reading all the books is even though it's considered all propaganda, they all have this very interesting thread that if you take the two sides, it's like listening to two people in an argument. You take the two sides and you can find the facts in between.
Right. Also, there's that whole behind-the-scenes fact that they were both actually being, like, when you read the wolf side, you get that third point of view and find out that they're both being manipulated by the same
Yeah,
demon.
they're both being manipulated by Horus because Horus was like, dude, he was telling, Magnus, he's coming here to kill you,
S-
you know,
Also,
and,
spoiler alert, by the way.
yeah, it's
But not only that, but if you think about the trial with the trial of Magnus when he goes back and does it from the wolf's perspective. Remember, Constantine Valdor's heading up the trial, but Constantine Valdor was never there. It was a demon in his form, right?
yeah. I mean, it's so crazy, all the stuff that happened.
And so that demon was actually manipulating Russ's side, but also manipulating Magnus's side. It's crazy.
And it doesn't help that you've got Horus in the middle of this going, excellent. Soon I will have another brother that will be on my side because his brain is so jacked up over everything that's going on and all the whispers that he's getting. And it's just, I mean, that entire situation is just maddening to begin with. And it's just like, ah. And then you have Lion, who's over here going, yes, if you pay attention to me, I know what the hell's going on here. Hi, this is a really bad thing. No, stop paying attention to Horus. Don't pay attention to Lorcar.
Meeks makes a really good point. He says that if Magnus really wanted to take the message to his father instead of psychically crossing the galaxy and breaking into his father's laboratory, he should have just told Russ, hey, I give myself up. Take me to I want to see my father. Russ would have taken him.
If I'm not mistaken, that, yes, we're talking about that dude that's taking a hell long cat nap. Ha 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 puns. From what I was told, I haven't read the book, is that was originally the order the Emperor wanted, was Magnus to be brought to him.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to talk to Magnus, but he gave the order to Horus.
Yep.
And Horus went and told, well, it's never actually directly stated that that's what Horus told Russ.
Yep. Horus gave him the sanction.
But Father wants you to kill Magnus. And so he goes there, and this is, Russ, and for the first time, Russ is like, that doesn't sound like anything my father would actually, he did one thing. One damn thing. And I'm pretty sure Dad would want to talk to him, because otherwise he wouldn't have done something that stupid. All right, Magnus, bro, we need to talk. Screw you. Screw you, Wolf. Fine, I guess. Well, you're just proving that Horus is right, so... Damn it. Alright, do it. Bring the hammer down.
Let's see. There was lag at some point. Don't make Mythos send the negotiation squad. Let's see. Let's see. Who's this guy? Where's Brother Mythos? Painting some random space marine and now 1,000 Suns sympathizer. This meth dude is Mythos' doppelganger sent to corrupt us. I meant down with Magnus. Down with Magnus.
No. He's still... Enrique. Welcome, Enrica.
Push a wolf to murder and make and reap the end you have rightfully sowed. It's a good quote. Good quote by Hellchild. And
I don't disagree.
tomorrow's my 23rd wedding anniversary. Have a great anniversary. Take care and have a good night, Mini Warmite. All right, you ready to do some art of the week, my friend?
I'm always happy to do some art of the week. Let's see what we got.
And after we mention bringing up art of the week, we're going to officially take 10 minutes to load up. Oh, no, wait, here we go.
Let's see.
Thomas, my man, you can send those on over if you like, and I will be happy to shows them off.
Which is better, a Land Raider Crusader or a Land Raider Redeemer?
So, in my opinion, it depends on what you want to do with it. If you have a small, a small power armor force you want to send into battle, The Redeemer is great. It's got a lot of flamethrowers for that close combat, or you could send it empty as a distraction card effect, send it up empty and just blow stuff up with a flamethrower. And it's going to kill some light infantry. Or, if you want to put like an elite force in there, Terminators, Wolfen, anything big and heavy, you're going to want the Crusader because it's got a bigger transport capacity. As a Space Wolf player myself, because I like sticking Wolfen and Terminators in them, I usually go with the Crusader for transport capacity. Plus, you're getting a billion T-shots anyways.
Okay, I think this said, even though I like the Thousand Suns, I would happily be a Wolf player if somebody in the household wasn't already one. So,
I mean, see, that's why I like the way Freak and I work together. We're actually both just going to play Wolves.
Yeah, well, I've got a Imperial Guard that are Wolf-Rican females. So they will be.
All right, let's see what happens if I push this Art of the Week button. Shazam! Okay, that came out.
Is it working?
Yes. I always have to double check to make sure it shows what I'm intending to show. It'd be really embarrassing if it pulled up one of those pages of prawns. All right, so here we go. Checking out this one. So this is the attack bike I painted up earlier. Kaiser had asked, can we get the big pics going on? So I took a couple of snapshots while we were prepping Art of the Week. So there it is from the side.
I was wondering what you were doing over there.
Nothing. Am I going in the wrong? Oh, I keep forgetting that.
Let's say, we can't actually see anything yet.
Oh. Well, maybe that is not going as intended.
Because I've got it up over here, that way I can keep up
Okay.
with you.
Okay, good. All right, Art of the Week. We're going to zoom up to here. And that is actually a good point. Let me pull it up here, too. Because I can't just keep clicking off of this. Really pro here, guys. So you should be looking at my attack bike now. If I'm... Moving on to the next angle. So there's it kind of from the front. And the other side, I think that one you can really see the heat bloom effects on the melt gun a little better.
Okay, I gotta reload this or something, because I think I'm like way behind or something.
Could be. Try refreshing your page.
I am right now. Because I'm not seeing anything.
I see the pictures.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up here. Try refreshing your feed.
Aha! There it is! Woohoo!
All right.
Oh, God, jeez.
Zane says he likes the Dakka Land Raider with the Hurricane Bolters. That would be the Crusader. Darklight Dreamer says, prawns. Thomas says, or his My Little Pony subscription. See, that's the whole reason why I had kids, so I can, watch My Little Pony with no one judging. And there's kind of an upper side view. So, and all the weathering. 10 weathering. Although, from that angle, you can't really see it, but up in the kick plates there of the attack biker, all kinds of dust and stuff I got in there. Here are my orcs, by the way. I painted up so you guys can kind of see. And actually, I'd want to get your guys' opinion on the jungle basing here. I wanted to have the jungle basing vibe. And I've gotten a lot of kudos on it so far. I have had, a couple of different people say that maybe it looks a little too busy. But I feel like for going for a jungle theme, jungle's going to be kind of busy. So I feel like it's on brand. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. I think my favorite part of this project was getting the really bright skin and the really rusty metal.
Yeah, those are some very bright-skinned orcs.
Thank you.
I feel like I may have made your orcs your orc girl too.
It's all gravy. See, a little variety is the spice of life, right? With Space Marines, I like things super uniform, but I don't feel like that's always necessarily the case with orcs. I feel like orcs definitely leave room for that.
Make an honest attempt.
And it's like I said, your end result is gorgeous. So, this is the one I painted up last week on stream. Obviously, I finished it up and threw the basing on it, but this is the one from the stream.
Man, I do love the way you do the faces, though. How you have that pop of green, that bright green.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Man. You make me want to try harder.
I appreciate that, especially since you're an awesome painter. So getting that kind of kudos from you is like pretty awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For some reason, I decided to take a lot of shots of the one that I painted on stream. I think it's just that the way the pictures get shuffled around when I put them in Messenger, it just has some of them kind of looping. I'm really pleased with the way those checkerboard patterns came out. I mean, they're not the most even checkerboard, but...
You're dealing with orcs. I'm pretty sure they don't know what the word even means.
And for them, the only definition of even is getting even.
Yeah, I'm fairly positive. I mean, they're soccer hooligans. What do you expect?
Man, I took a lot of pictures of my own stuff. Okay, this is and I'm pretty sure I have the name on here, but this one's been going around Facebook, Reddit. This is a really popular conversion project that I've seen all over the internet, and it is an Alpha Legion in mid transformation as camouflage as an Ultramarine. Isn't that cool?
Hold on, I'm still looking at your orcs.
It's all good.
I really do like your orcs, man.
Thank you so much.
Also, really like the way you do their leather boots.
Did the what?
You do their boots,
Oh, thank you.
making them look like worn leather. That is just very cool.
That is a little recipe I came up with Rakarth flesh and Gore Grunter for contrast.
Oh, that's so cool! I now see the one that you were talking about.
Yeah. A Phobos Ultramarine kit bashed. And actually, I was reading this guy's comment section, and that is actually a new Chaos Sculpt model and a Phobos Sculpt model, both chopped in half. Like, that is actually chopped up there.
Wow.
So the seam where he chopped is where he put in the transformation line.
Yeah, that is really clean.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I love the lighting of the transformation line because it's like as you're watching it, you're kind of expecting it to move.
Yeah, exactly. And the I'm pretty sure that looks like some non-metallic work on the on all that silver trim.
Yeah, man, that's my next. After figuring out how to do lighting, that's my next thing to try and learn.
Darklight Dreamer says, I think that those look super cool. I agree. This is some really stellar work here. This one, so I'd seen the Primaris one before because like I said, that's been all over the internet. The hit bashing a Hellbrute with a regular box dreadnought. How cool is that?
Yeah.
The Chaos Dreadnought and the Loyalist Dreadnought together, that one is, again, it almost looks photoshopped. That's how clean that is.
This is in regards to your orc. Oh, the super cool was in regards to your orc club.
Oh, thank you so much. When did I click off of the Dreadnought?
I don't know. I'm still waiting to see it. Because my connection.
Thank you so much, Darklight. Thank you very much. All right. It should be back. You may have to refresh again.
Oh, nope, there it is. Now I'm seeing it.
Gotcha.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Okay, I was about to go. If not, dude, not even cool, man.
That is such an amazing, and it's funny because it's the old body, it's the old style box dreadnought, but the new sculpt of the Hellbrute, I think, and it's just so well done.
Gross and nasty and so awesome. I like it.
That is really captures something with a lot of character, a lot of that chaotic demonic personality, hiding and parading as something very normal, very very stoic, very static.
Imagine D getting his hands on something like that and nurgling it.
That would be so cool.
Ugh. I'd have to put it somewhere else because God only knows it'll make me sick.
So this looks like Lim Wei Yang, and he posted this to Heavier Metal is where I picked up this post. It says Hydra Dominatus. This is incredible.
Isn't that beautiful?
So that is where I would definitely, if you're not part of the Heavier Metal group, you can definitely find his stuff there. And of course, that's where you can find him on the Facebooks. This one, I think, was sent to us by Heinrich Botha, and it is a kit bash from the 40K Converters Kit Bash Carnage. So you can see, I think that, I can't tell what that helmet's from. But I love, that looks like a little green stuff sculpt dude on his wrist communicator.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I've seen that image. She sent that to us. I think that's really cool. I'm frankly looking forward to seeing what the creator does with it once it's all painted.
Absolutely.
I mean, because if he can get that really cool effect where it looks like the little dude is a holographic projection.
Man, that I think would be a really cool use of a color shifting paint or something like that.
Well, that was another thing that I'm wanting to try and learn how to do is I've seen a lot of that where people have figured out how to make things look translucent, even though not. I got an Oni that's wrapped in a skirt. She needs that.
That sounds awesome.
Oh my gosh. And the things I got to paint. If D has his way, I'm never going to finish my damn army.
This next post is by Thunderwolfen on Instagram, and it is his Soul Hunters Primaris army. And we're starting with an Executioner here, and that is one sexy tank. Also, you can see at the bottom of the screen there, I grabbed this picture while watching Big Mech Dan Skull, one of my favorite channels to follow. So, very... Say what?
I was going to say, I know that beard.
That's a very famous beard there.
That's a beard that makes all the boys envious.
Definitely makes this guy envious. I'd love to have a glorious beard like Big Mech.
Oh my gosh.
The lady has said no. My brother Daz has a glorious, massive beard. I keep saying, I'm going to grow a massive, glorious beard like Daz. And Lily's like, nope.
The Lady Lily has spoken.
So you can see these Primaris boys standing in front of that beautiful tank there. It's a good-looking Primaris force. This one is a massive one. He says it is a full army pick of everyone inside their transport. So it's just 3 tanks together. Looks like 2 impulsors and an executioner. That's pretty awesome.
That is, hey, that's a fun way to, showcase. It's like, here you go.
Yep.
Everybody's on these.
Full army showcase. I love the hand on the side. And it makes me think of all the World Eaters novels from the 30K Horus Heresy series, and how Angron gave the red palm symbol to his admiral on his ship. That's what makes me think of every time I see something like that. I think your work on Demon Primers would be fantastic. Although I really hope, with your skill, that you get your hands on some actual Forge World ones at some point, because
Well, that's one of my goals. Is I want to do pre-heresy and post-heresy eventually.
that would be incredible. I really love the leather or cloth tarp or whatever that's on top of this the gun barrel for this tank.
Oh yeah.
It just really gives it kind of a, I don't know, a kind of a real world look to it.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then here's a little detail I didn't catch until the second time I looked at this guy. But just bundled up on the side of the tank is a dead Tyrannid. Like a trophy. We're taking this bad boy home. We're going to hang this guy up in the den. Got a taxidermy specialist waiting on him.
Great. So there are a bunch of rednecks.
I guess so. The Soul Hunter.
They hit it with their tanks, so they're where they have to be.
Jokes aside, though, this is phenomenal work
it's
by the Thunderwolf.
absolutely gorgeous. The amount of detail, the fading, the weathering. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the bottom of it. I mean, it's all dusty and just grime.
I- Especially the grime on the white doors, too. They look like streaked down with rust.
Yeah, oh my god, it's so cool.
And one of my favorite things is you can see like these darker areas towards the bottom and the light, touching more surface area as it comes towards the top.
Yeah. It's just the amount of detail. I love it. It's, oh my gosh.
Speaking of some incredible light source work, we're going to take a look at one of my favorite painters on the internet, but also on Twitch.
Her again? Is it her?
This is a project by Wolfwraith.
Oh, even better.
Definitely, I'm not sure what this is from, but it definitely gives me, some cyberpunk kind of vibes. It looks like an android girl. It also makes me think of Detroit Become Human. Very cool, very futuristic, Neo Tokyo kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Also, are you a Mass Effect fan?
I am.
The color is all off. She's android, but not alien. But she really gives me the vibe of Arya on in Mass Effect 2, running the club. She's just got one rule when you're in her club. Don't F with Arya.
Don't mess with her.
And
Don't do that.
that's the kind of her pose, her vibe, the sliding situation. That's the vibe she gives me. This is an awesome and gorgeous sculpt, and I really think Wolfwraith has absolutely nailed it. This is he's got an amazing assortment of incredible projects he's done on his channel, but this is one of my favorites so far right here.
Man, I am just really loving that.
And dynamic lighting is something that always just like takes my breath, and there's just an abundance of neon dynamic lighting in this scene.
I mean, you can just hear the music thumping behind her.
Exactly. Oh man, and who can paint faces like this? Like, how is this even possible?
You're pretty good, Mom.
That's, jeez, I have no words.
That is just so cool.
Oh, by the way, I want to direct everyone again. This is Wolfwraith on Instagram and Wolfwraith on Twitch. Really, really incredible Twitch streamer. Can watch him paint. You can, he does these paint chat hangouts all the time. Definitely give him a follow. This is McCarley Miniatures, and what really impressed me. These aren't even finished and basted and everything, but like, look at these smooth red blends. You guys know buttery blends are definitely something that I absolutely love. And on these tiny I can do shading on plates of armor if it's a big vehicle. And you guys saw earlier when it came to my attack bike, I was really impressed that on the side of a bike, the side of a barn, I managed to get an area small enough to blend with an airbrush on a bike. Look at these blends on this, like this gauntlet right here. On this one tiny forearm, you have an amazing gradient from dark, like a blackish red over here, into a mid-tone, into a nice, bright, saturated red over here. Isn't that crazy? Think, like, if you looking at it this zoomed in, yeah, you can see it's a nice blend. But think of looking at a miniature in front of you and how tiny that would be, and say I want to do that blend on every greave. Look at this elbow here. That elbow has to be the back end of a pin, a sewing needle right here. This elbow, it's blended. The inner part of a mask here, it's blended. These back parts of the backpack here, blended. That's crazy to me. This level of detail and blending is just so good. And you guys know I talk about it all the time. I love heat bloom effects on this multi-multi. That's so cool. I have no words. It's just so good. I don't know if I cut you off at any point during that. I got really excited. I apologize.
Oh, no. You didn't cut me off at all. I'm sitting there watching, looking at this, going, wow, and I'm thinking about my cornates and their armor and whatnot.
This confirms that I'll never be able to paint a Blood Angel army now.
Because I do stuff like that, but I mean, how I do it, I don't know how they do it. Mine is nowhere near that smooth. I want to know their secrets.
Right? That's just incredibly beautiful work. This is a really cool conversion kit bash. Somebody took the Ambots from Blackstone Fortress, put them on Necromunda bases, and gave them wings from the Corvus Cabals, and some of the little details and accoutrement. And you can also see it on their paint job and stuff here.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that freehand of the Corvus Cabal symbol.
Ooh, look at that! I'm loving the grime and whatnot that's down on the feet.
Those are awesome.
It's like sand that's come in.
Yep.
That is just so impressive.
If I could draw your eye to it, and I know anybody watching on a phone, it's going to be really hard to see, but look, each of these feathers are highlighted with individual hash marks. This does not look like dry brushing, because if you look, none of the directions are consistent. This looked like they individually went in on each feather and used hash marks. I could be wrong. It could just be dry brushed. But it looks like the directions aren't consistent enough to just be dry brushed. It looks like this was intentionally highlighted over and over and over again, giving it, honestly, a much more feather-like texture and consistency.
Yeah, it's very impressive. My goodness.
Also, you guys know I love. I like to say that I do comic booky style. I love overly done heat blooms and OSL glows. I love the glow around the eyes.
Yeah. That looks like something I do not want to meet ever.
I hope I get to the picture that's got his name on it soon. Look at all this weathering in the back here. Intentionally placed streaks of grime. This was definitely not some. I mean, look how it's collected there, all in the lines in the panel recesses. This is not someone who chucked a bunch of wash on it and said, hey, it's weathered. This is very intentionally done. And if that's your style, that's your way of weathering stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying this was incredibly intentionally done.
Yeah.
Also, it's hard to notice, but at certain angles you can see the transition, how it's more purpley towards the inside of the wings and more blue towards the outside. That's pretty cool. That's incredible.
I love the transition from the purple to the blue to the white.
There we go.
That's really good.
Alexander Dumoulard. Very cool.
Alexander, you are incredible, man.
Just phenomenal work. And I think this is on the Inquisitorium on Facebook. So if you want to check out that group, go sign up there. This one is from Radicraft. You guys know with the Saga of the Beast and Prophecy of the Wolf out, I got to get in some 40k Ragnar content here. And this is one we showcased on Art of the Week several weeks ago when it was just gray plastic, because it was the conversion sent to us by Brother Thomas, of course. And this is the actually completed and painted up project. So, Brother Thomas sent us the gray Kit Bash unpainted version, and then Brother Meek sent me their finished painted up version. So, I think multiple people in the community have enjoyed this particular conversion and paint job.
I've actually seen a number of paint jobs where people have taken his Ragnar's figure and actually created their own wolf lords for their own unique groups. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a great sculpt to make, a lot of custom wolf lords. It's definitely the most dynamic wolf lord there is. So if you're going to make a custom one, this will be a great starting point. I love how well the pose on the shield bearer is done for the alley-oop here.
Yeah, no, I like that much better than him jumping off of a rock with that position.
hey. Look at all my I'm looking at all my contest entries of a dude leaping off of a rock. Hey. I happen to like that pose. But this kind of alley-oop here reminds me of Advent Children, when everybody's pulling Cloud further into the air. Huh?
Don't give up.
Yep.
It also reminds me of Hellchild's got one that he did also that's very similar to that, except for the shield bearer who's not leaning down. He's turned to the side and is just lifting the dude up.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was inspired by this one. Which, I love Hellchilds. I can't wait to see him painted up.
Oh my God. He's been sending me group pictures and who everybody is, so look forward to seeing the Eclipse Stalkers in their fullity.
Yep. This is just from the Warhammer community page, but as I've been into Orcs a lot lately, I just thought this was badass.
It is. I'm sorry, I'm eating a cookie.
It's all gravy. Actually, it's a cookie. You don't want to dunk that in gravy, but... Oh my God, Wash Thomas? Sounds reasonable. So, of course, I would click directly onto Gazgul's backside first.
He's an orc. Who doesn't like orc flesh?
Right. He thick. 2 C's.
It's got back.
Here we go. I love this alternative color. It looks like a lot of Incubi darkness, kind of that greenish, that dark green kind of color. This definitely has an air of
Grim dark.
yeah, but also dark Eldar kind of coloring, and it pairs very well with the rusty color. And you can see here, I believe this was sent to me by Mini War Mutt.
I'm very drawn into the claw.
The claw, yeah, it is definitely them doing the color scheme like this. It really pops.
My God, it takes him from being like most of the the orcs are more or less kind of funny. Don't get me wrong, I love them to death. I think they're hilarious. But this is an orc where I'm looking at that going, 1, 2, 3 thanks, no, I choose life.
Right. Even the cannons here, they're such small surfaces, but they all have very dynamic highlights and shading, and your eyes just kind of catch them. This whole thing it sucks your eyeballs in. You're just continuously finding new things to look at on this model. And they do the colors so well.
Yeah, no, it's very much a, no, thank you, I choose life.
It's unfortunate there was no close-ups of the face. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
But once again, that dark green kind of incubi darkness armor and this rusty
Yeah.
color just pair so well together.
I mean, my goodness, that's a warbossa. If you're going for something non-campy that matches the whole just the concept, this grim, dark, feral, savage race. There you go. And they're not soccer hooligans. That's not a soccer hooligan. And I don't know.
Unfortunately, some of these were sent to me so long ago, I've lost track of who sent me what. But somebody sent this to me from Patry Miniatures. But this is a corn demon? A demon prince, right? I want to say this one's a corn one.
That is something a lot more. That is a bloodthirster. That's basically what Scarbrand is.
Okay.
That's like the equivalent of an unclean one, or a keeper of secrets.
I love bloodthirsters in League of Legends when I'm building everything in the game ADC. That's my favorite game to play in League of Legends is Will It ADC.
I want a Scarbrand or a bloodthirster of that nature so much, but I have to wait. It's coming. And when it does, it's going to be glorious. But, good lord, look at the green and the fade effect of what he's standing on and his mouth.
Yeah, I'm once again just an incredible contrast. Also, I love the multiple tones here, so you have a different color for the flesh as opposed to the wings.
Yeah.
Makes it stand out more, I think. Also, I love the thing, kind of like on a reptile, the inside of the chest, the abs, all the way up to the lower jaw here, seem to be a lighter color on the demon's skin. Kind of like like I said, a reptile, how its belly's going to be, a lighter shade.
Love the coloring with the red to the black, the bright, vibrant reds to black on the wings.
Yeah.
That is so pretty and just as it pops.
And
It very much pops.
if anyone wants to see some really, really, really good tutorials on doing wings, undead wings, and specifically with a really good, vibrant black to a red in the center transition, you can check out the Miniatures Paintbrush. They've got some really good tutorials on that.
Yep.
We've got some Vilka Fenrica here. I want to say the Commodore sent this to me. I could be wrong. But the thing I especially love, if you'll notice in the bottom right corner, most people do their Space Wolves as black mains, and why not? Ragnar's an awesome leader, and it's got one of the best great companies. But these babies here serve my favorite Wolf Lord, in my opinion, the best Wolf Lord in the entire game and lore of 40k, Bran Redmaw.
I was going to say, those are, I was going to ask, trying to get a good look at that. I was like, which one is it? It's not, yeah, no, those are the red moth.
Yep. The bloody mouth.
You
And-
don't honestly see that type, the red moths, very much.
Yeah, in fact, they don't really sell decals for them, so you can see these ones are free-handed on. They do make one of a wolf snout straight down like that, and a lot of people will paint over that. Well, I say a lot of people. People who do brand Redmaw will often use that one and then paint that lower mouth red and add it on the blood drops. But to see one fully just free-handed like that, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Love the leather texture on the mask there.
Uh-huh.
And you can see all the little chips and weathered damages all over the armor here. How-
You've seen some stuff.
They probably did not use the technique on how to win a golden demon. Clean your model in acetone. The judges will think that you spent months weathering it. I love that video.
Seems like a very hazardous thing to do. I don't know. After my run-in with the cement glue and my poor witches, no, thank you.
Look at that face. That detail in that face.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love the chipping on the cauldron, the shoulder cauldron, and the paint. How it just looks like it's wearing down.
Yep.
Oh, that is so amazing.
And then there's the squad all together. Moving on to some Slanesh here, Keeper of Secrets.
Oh, those are always fun to see how people handle those.
And this one, just incredible. Looking at the purple to light transitions here. Skin tones. This person's done a really incredible job. The dynamic way that the hair pops and grabs your attention.
Ooh, I got to see this one not too long ago. Dee showed it to me because he wanted me to look at the way that the hair was done and whatnot, and show me one of the older Keeper of Secrets.
Speaking of that hair, we get a close up here.
Yes, oh my gosh.
That's so awesome.
It's just. Ugh. And she looks like she will mess you up.
It was simpler time, but there were still great questions to be asked, like, is Francis correct in his assessment that humanity has reached the end of history in the form of neoliberal capitalism? Or, what if a woman had 6 boobs and 4 of them had eyes for nipples?
I noticed that. I pointed that out to him, and he's like, "Oh, look," and I go, "Honey, those are eyes." No, they're not. No, honey, they're eyes.
Ugh. Nonetheless, though, it's incredibly painted.
I saw that manga. Ugh. I wish I never had.
Oh my god, those aren't dreadlocks. Hey!
Right.
Look at this work here. Ready for battle in the realm of fire.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this work here.
I was really proud of how those things turned out.
They look great. You should be proud of how they turned out.
I wasn't expecting to. I'm so glad the camera takes in the angle.
You know, it's funny how often that I surprise my guests with this, but every time they come on, they're always surprised when I do it.
I'm surprised every time you do it, period. I wish the pictures were better, or we couldn't get the light box to turn on very well. But yeah, no, I was really proud of how those guys were turning out. So they're gonna look freaky.
You have been saying for several weeks now that you want to go back and paint some Stormcast Eternal, and I'm glad you finally actually went back and did it, because they turned out excellently.
Yeah, no, I happened to have a group of them, and I was like, you know what, let's do this. And originally I was going to do them one each color of the rainbow. And Dee was like, make them all red. And then they just ended up being, because I painted one of them in red, and he was just like, ooh, you should just do them all that way and make them from the realm of fire. Which matches my board, which is lava-based.
Oh, Thomas, why? Thomas, why? Oh my God. I have little ones around, so I can't repeat Thomas's comment. But oh no, not Thomas, Zane. Oh, Zane, crazy. Oh, you just damaged me.
It's Zane. That really surprised you. I stopped being surprised by the things that Zane.
See, I actually saw someone lose an eye to a wire fence when I was a kid, and I have an ocular phobia now. I can't stand to watch any movie or anything that involves, the bursting of someone's eye or getting too close to. I don't even like things getting too close to my eye. I can't put in contacts. And so just that idea just really, oh my God, throws me off.
I know how you feel. I got stabbed in the eye, remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that for a second. Anyways, moving on. Now that I'm going to have night terrors, thank you, Zane. We have an amazing entry here from Heinrich Botha.
Oh, yes.
I love, 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 love how vibrant his the green in his Necrons are. It's just really attention grabbing. You guys know I love OSL effects anyway, so you mix that really vibrant green, and then the fact that his energy coil effects here glow, and the energy, that color that's glowing, is that red to yellow fade. That is a perfect complement to this green here. It is all just very attention grabbing. I mean, Brother Heinrich has some extremely serious painting chops.
Yes, he is absolutely amazing, and his kit bashing skills are, they make me sick. Heinrich, if you're watching this later, I still love you. But yeah, his ability to get this, and he keeps them so simple, but so clean and so crisp, and it's just, the stuff just...
Ah,
I'm sorry, I got distracted by what Zane just
I know.
said.
Archer, get him. Please, make him stop.
Somebody, make him stop. This is why that thing is banned on our channel. Because he said stuff like that, and Commodore kept smacking him.
Oh,
And
man.
now the Inquisitor's his main thing can't even sign in.
Anyways, so
Moving on. Ooh, what
looking
a
at this face forward view,
oh my God, look at that.
that glow is just so beautiful, you know.
And then there's that red eye up there looking at you, and you're
Yep.
just thinking, well, I'm in trouble. Oh my gosh. Yes, Heinrich is incredible.
His Annihilation Barge is finally done, seen here with the... Oh my gosh, I don't know these words.
I can't see it very well, unfortunately.
The
Hold on.
Ancient on his Catacomb Command Barge. Okay, so this is... looks like a conversion of sorts here. Pop over one more. Other
I think
side.
that's one of his conversions. Oh my... Oh, he finished it! Okay,
Ah.
then, the Ancient on the Catacomb Barge is actually, it was a kit batch that he's been working on for a very long time, where he took and converted actually the Craven King's throne. I mean, just... I've been watching him work on that for months. I didn't realize I thought I'm following you, Heinrich. Why did I not? Oh, it's because I haven't checked in a while. That would be why.
That's crazy. That is so good.
I mean, good grief.
There's so much to look at on this one. I need to check to see if there's close-ups of this one on this channel. Maybe for next time.
Yeah, or we just, alright, you can ask him directly. Can I have some, close-ups, please? Oh. He's such an amazing painter, and just so... As I mentioned, Heinrich and Fight Child comes running. What?
All right, so this is Brother Thomas's kit bash here. I want to know what set that face is from. That's pretty cool. I love that. It's a lot of character in that screaming face. You know, a lot of the times the screaming face on a lot of the models just look like ah, you know, but like this one actually has some character to it. It looks cool. Also, the hair kind of has a Super Saiyan kind of look, you know.
Oh, I know who that is.
That's
I know who that is.
who is it?
That is
their veterans.
That is very, very cool conversion.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's his latest one, if I'm not mistaken. But, oh, it's just, he does these, and they're so freaking amazing.
They really are.
And then maybe eventually, someday, he'll feel that he's built enough and start painting them. I know you can hear me, Heltrap. I will throw the shade.
So,
Just call me Lady Olinder. Carolina.
Brother Thomas says that is a puppet's warhead.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Oh, apparently he found a mole blind in that picture.
And that is Jarl Alvar Deathwolf in honor of Freak, the Freakaliciousness.
Is it? I thought that was the... Oh, no, sorry. Similar head. Never mind.
Awesome. Awesome.
I just know that it's one of his eclipse stalkers. I've got a beautiful photo that he sent me of all the ones he's made. There's like 8 of them, I think, by now. In like this really dynamic group pose.
Nice.
I'm just like, gimme, because I'm going to try and draw that.
So going on to our topic from earlier, what is it you're hoping for tomorrow?
Not to see the end of the Imperium like the article was fearing that we may be seeing with this. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be the beginning of 9th edition, or it's going to be 8.5. I knew, because I had heard some whisperings, that they were getting ready to release a bunch of stuff. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of summer, the Yanari should actually get receiving their own book, which will be nice. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of hoping that I get to see a new Primarch, Loyalist, or as my joy of doing showpieces, I don't mind if it's a Loyalist or a Traitor. I mean, they're running out of the Traitor types. They are running out of Traitor types. They can only release so many of them before they have to give us Loyalists. I mean, come on here. And they've already got the ability to give us back Lion, because it's the same process that we got Guilliman back.
Yep.
I do know that there is talk about whether or not we're going to see the Imperium splitting, again, between those that are following Guilliman and those who are following the Ecclesiarchy and their delicious corruption. There's also been talk that Horus is going to be, because not Horus, Abaddon's been playing a big role in a lot of this. You know, he's moving forward with this whole campaign that he has against the Imperium, and it's just, he's becoming more and more bold, so there's some rumors that maybe he's going to make a try at Terra again, you know, to go kill Grandpapa. You know, Gramps killed Dad, so now I got to go kill Gramps. Who knows?
You know, some say that would actually help, you know, with him being a perpetual and all.
Yeah. We were making jokes over here that, yes, he's going to kill the Emperor and merely just release what was left of his energy, and we will see the 5th Chaos God, Malal.
But if he's a perpetual, I mean, I don't know if that would be necessarily releasing him from his physical form, because he'll just come right back.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, there was some talk that that's just what's, you know, people are like, well, if we do that, that's really cool, honey. If you do that, you know, maybe it's because of the fact he hasn't, you know, been allowed to just die completely is the reason why he's stuck in this form. So if Abaddon comes along and, you know, pulls the plug on the life support system, he dies and then he gets right back up and everybody goes, oh, crap. But who knows? I mean, this whole thing, I have been taking it as one surprise at a time, whereas D is like, he's like
got all his predictions, and it's like, well, I heard this and I heard that, and I'm like, I just want to see what comes next.
You know, for me, I definitely can feel that. I don't actually have a prediction for tomorrow, although I do, as much as I don't want it to be this. You know, like I said, they did mention Russ allegedly being around for the end
Yes.
of Wrath of Magnus and Curse of the Wolfen. Wars on Fenris, that was the campaign. Russ was around for that, but more recently in Psychic Awakening, Fulgrim has been reported to have been seen by guardsmen.
He's also, and it's been he's been mentioned multiple times in multiple of the books. Also, sorry, just reading what Hellshot was saying about Ghoulman. Apparently, Ghoulman is actually can speak to the Emperor.
Speaks is a very loose term, but right.
Well, he can talk at his dad all he wants.
I mean, he has a. In the book, he goes to see his father, and he has a vision where his father spoke to him via mind link. But I mean,
no, what they need to show is that Centurion that's been hanging around the Emperor is really dorn and hiding this whole time. And that I would laugh my butt off, and I'm pretty sure that our dear friends over at the Emperor at Texas Beach went, "You stole our idea!" Now, I know that there was a lot of talk about Magnus because the 13th Wolfman jumping out of the warp has been spotted just taking out, chaos outposts and whatnot, and then disappearing, and they've all got the 13th Company symbol on them, which were the ones who vanished with Russ into the warp.
mm-hmm.
Which would be freaking awesome. And I do know that there has been a lot more talk about the 13th Company in particular in recent months and years and whatnot. So again, I think that would be really cool to get to see, Russ. Though I could just imagine Russ's response when he sees the state of the Imperium. It will not be pretty. And Gulamin will just be handing him a tankard and go, they'll just hand him a tankard and go, drink this, and let me catch you up on what's going on. By the way, your planet got attacked by Prospero recently, and the Grey Knights had to go and bail their asses out.
Yeah, that's when Russ showed up.
Did he? That was recent.
Yep. So what happened is at the end of that, spoiler alert for like a 3-year-old book, but at the end of that, Logan Grimnar is in a one-on-one fight with Magnus, so a chapter master trying to go up a whole demon Primarch by himself.
Oh, that's scary.
And loses his axe, and someone intervenes and fends off Magnus, and through the shadow of the mist, walking away at the end of the battle, he sees Russ walking back into the mist. And so Russ basically showed up and saved the king of his planet's tail, and then walked back off into the sunset. I feel like he did it CSI Miami style, putting on his shades as he walked into the sunset.
Yeah. Elchild goes, okay, so I knew that the 13th Company had something to do when Russ left. I had heard that he had taken them with him, or he met up with them. And Russ will drink the tankard that Gulamin offers him, listens to what Gulamin says, and then he goes, you know what, screw this, I'm just going to finish where I started. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right for us. But yes, there will be a price hike. I've already heard the grumblings from my dear husband about the price hike that's coming.
Oh yeah, he was super salty during the last price hike, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah, he takes his prices very seriously, and he becomes a very, very grumpy old man if somebody changes the prices on him. And it's kind of amusing.
Oh, it's major.
I get it. Although, I think a lot of us saw this coming. Being that this whole situation is gonna. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think it's just gonna start here. I think with the way a lot of companies have lost money during this whole situation, I think we'll see that as part of the economy going forward. A lot of the things that we use a lot, taking a price hike.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
I don't think it'll
No,
just be this hobby.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they weren't already mildly hiking their prices on us to begin with.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Just
Awful.
one more reason, right?
Yep. But yeah, no. So I'm really looking forward to it. Man, would I love it if they revealed Russ. Can you just imagine what he would look like after spending all those years fighting in the war?
Let me tell you what I want. If Russ comes back, I would love if Russ came back with a werewolf transformation mechanic like Bran Redmaw used to have.
Oh my gosh.
That would be so cool to me.
I had made a comment about how I thought it would be really cool if he came back and it was like, he was more wolf-like. Not quite wolfen level, but like saber-tooth level.
That would be really cool.
I was like, dude, that would be so awesome. And then I was promptly explained to me, it was promptly explained to me by my dear husband why that would never happen.
Why he wouldn't come back looking like Sabretooth?
Yes, because apparently that's a flaw in the gene seed, which he does not suffer from because he is not.
I mean, he's got the fangs like his sons do.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, and his also big thing is that he keeps complaining about the fact that whenever anybody, draws a picture of him or something, he's always got a beard. And I was like, dude's been in the war for the better part of 9,000 years. I'm pretty sure he doesn't take the time to shave during that time. And I'm pretty sure the Primarchs are not, oh, well, part of being superhuman is we don't have facial hair. We know that's BS. Jagatai Khan.
It's possible. To me, thank you, Archer. To me, that's that's a detail I could take or leave, to be honest. Because, I mean, like this right here, I mean, just a few weeks ago, this wasn't here, and then I made a conscious decision. I want to let it grow out, So even.
You get so angry about that.
And he's definitely not the only one. I mean, lots of people have very strong feelings on the way their favorite characters should and shouldn't look. And I honestly felt the same way whenever in one of the Captain America movies they put a beard on Cap, and I was like, Cap has never had a beard. What are you doing to me? But then, of course, I looked at it the other way. You know what? Anybody can just make the decision not to shave today. It's not a big deal, Mythos. Calm down. So.
You're fine. When he wasn't Captain America, he stopped being Captain America. When he stopped being Captain America, he got bigger.
Say what?
Somebody's being over here being, someone's being nerdy. We're talking about their second true love. Whatever. And so they're having to explain that, yes, Captain America at one point, or Steve Rogers at one point did in fact have a beard. However, during that time, he was not Captain America.
And in Infinity War,
And I live with this. This is what I live with.
I mean, but I'm a cola is always Coke to me kind of guy, right? And so, in that mindset, like for the longest time, it took me forever to accept that there was a Green Lantern other than Hal Jordan. And when Hal Jordan went on to other things, he was still Green Lantern to me. If I see Legolas in any other movie, he's still Legolas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom and any other
So I'm just if I associate something with something very strongly, It doesn't matter if he's currently fulfilling the role of Captain America to me at the time. He's Cap. I do that at work too. You know, somebody will get promoted or demoted at work, but hey, I worked with Maria when she was the major. I still call her Mage every day, just because I associate, Maria with being the major.
Yeah.
Mr. Howell, you know I'm not your major anymore, right? Thank you, Mage.
If you're still enough of one. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm doing skin tones for the face.
Oh yeah, I'm putting some metallics down on a Defcopter, so. And that's what I love about chipping away at some of these models and projects, during an hour-long stream, because even if I'm only working at the Defcopter every so often, an hour on stream, that's an hour worth of color I don't have to go back and put on this Defcopter,
Exactly. Currently, I'm in the middle of trying to do.
Okay, so I am full of hope for tomorrow's release. I don't really care what it is, honestly, but I am. Ooh, wait, go back. I want to put you on. I'm going to put my big screen on you. Oh, very nice.
Focus.
A very nice blonde hair.
Well, it's only for now. Her hair is actually going to get layered, so it's going to be red up to blonde.
But see, I honestly always think that's the best way to do it is when blonde hair is, layered with brown hair or.
I'm more going for a flame effect.
Right. But I'm just saying layered that way, layered with either blonde or layered with brown. Instead, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it looks less convincing when it's just people start with, say, a flat red or Mephiston red, I think when it starts with a layer effect like this and goes into the red colors, I think it works out better.
Yeah, no, I just, this is going to be a very specific character that who's very near and dear to my heart. I've had her for a very long time, and wanted to.
Oh, it feels nice over here.
What did I do?
I don't know what you do.
Yep. Oh my goodness. I've messed it up.
What did you do?
I hit a button and closed something out, and now the stream is messed up.
As you broke it.
I broke it.
Oh, the light kind of gone.
No, okay. Hasn't been on the other side of the screen all night.
Oh, has it?
Nah. That's our dear brother.
Could
capabilities.
I don't.
Could you just do the?
Are you talking to me or your computer?
My computer.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. Like, should Kiddo and I run? Maybe that's something apparently, but if this went on, then. Because I'm constantly having to restart because our video. I didn't do this. Oh, that's what you did.
Instead of our faces, just.
Was that a baseball bat hitting something higher? No, he hit a button and he has no idea what happened. And now he's threatening to murder Pikachu.
Could
Can you reflect to this one?
God.
An hour and 45 minutes. Oh, please excuse me. At least it's not blue screen of death.
Probably.
Why? What? I clearly have the whereby window open. Why don't you frickin' have whereby as an option for me to stream from? Oh, technology. Oh. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what I hit to fix it. But we're going to leave it that way for now. And just hope it does right.
You're back. Don't touch it.
Woosa. Woosa.
Don't touch anything.
Share to pick you mention. You know what? I'm not sure I want to click on it right now.
You're back and now you're gone.
What? Seriously?
I just clicked out. Crap. Maybe this is, I mean, it's after 11 and you normally only go.
Yeah, I was just trying to finish up this conversation about the thing tomorrow, and then I clicked on something and threw off the whole stream. All right, I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm going to end with my usual, even though it seems most likely that tomorrow is going to be Fulgrim, I would like to beg, plead, and pray again for not Fulgrim, but any loyal Primarch. Please, God, any loyal Primarch. I am so sick of this tag teaming.
No, you are not allowed to use that phrase. There are children watching.
There are children watching. But it doesn't matter because this isn't made for kids.
Okay.
But yeah, I am so sick of this tag teaming, DP kind of situation, okay, with two Chaos Primarchs and a cup. As opposed to the one loyal Primarch. I get it, right? Chaos has sucked for a long time, okay? But the fact that we have a lot of better little toys doesn't matter compared to the fact that they have the two biggest, best toys in the game, okay? And I just want to beg, plead, pray, if I have to stab someone, I mean, whatever I have to do to help. Any loyal Primarch, please. I'll even take the freaking lion if that's what it takes, but any loyal Primarch.
3 Primarch level characters, 1 loyalist.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know Chaos has sucked for a long time. Bring them up. Give them all the goodies and toys that we have.
Don't give them another Primarch.
Yeah, don't give them another Primarch. Bring up their range. Bring Chaos up. Make them the equivalent of regular Space Marines because they are just, heretical Space Marines. Make them the same, but for the love of God, don't give them a third Primarch. I mean, has anyone on the design team over at GW been on the end of a dry butthole reaming of Magnus and Motarian together on the same list? It's not fun, right? And it's like, oh man, I wish I had okay. No lube, okay? No, just any loyal Primarch, just make it even. 2, what is so hard about that math? 2 Chaos equals 2 loyal. Like, what? I mean, do we need to get them? I love you, GW. I love your products. I love your range. Do we need to get you highlights for kids? I swear to God. Anyways. Uh,
I love her.
I'm so glad I decided not to drink tonight because Jeffrey would have killed me with that. Here it is. That's what I was looking for.
Lars, good to see you, my brother.
Symbolism complex.
There you go.
Non-oil is surgery. No oil is surgery.
Non-oil is
Like,
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, Abaddon is kind of a mini Primarch. He does have most of the same buffs as Gilliman right now. All right. Anyways, that is that is how I wanted to close out that particular discussion. Before I touch something and break the stream again, any closing thoughts from the lovely Lady Dragon or the Plague Child?
Plague Child says Silent King.
Silent King, yeah, absolutely. And the fact that we got the announcement. I mean, that could be another logical thing of what tomorrow is. Hey, here's the model, or hey, here's the book he's going to be in, or hey, we're doing more than just the Silent King. Here's a range of releases that go with the Silent King. It could all be about the Silent King tomorrow.
They have been pretty gung ho about Silent King,
Silent King, Silent King, Silent King.
and they don't care about Primarchs unless it's a Fulgrim.
Yeah. A soldier, then, yay!
Yeah, no, they're okay if it's a Fulgrim.
I mean, honestly, of all the Primarchs tomorrow, most likely is Fulgrim, especially with the whole Fabius Bile coming back. A range of things that go with Fulgrim could be a possibility. I think of all Primarchs, I feel like Fulgrim is the most likely. Between Bile coming back and the fact that Fulgrim was recently seen by guardsmen in the Psychic Awakening books, I think it is possible.
And because very much in the Psychic Awakening they are talking about how Slanesh has been making her move. So
Lars says it should be the Lion, then they could still claim that they brought out a traitor Primarch.
wait, what? Actually, yeah, it's the Lion. You never know with him.
He plays his card so close to the chest, you just never know.
You're just kind of like. The only thing I know most about Lion is that when he went down, he told one of his brothers not to tell Russ who his attacker was because, well, he knew that Russ would go after them, and he didn't want Russ to die. Apparently, Fulgrim is the reason that Lion is taking a super extended long catnap, as Hellchild keeps saying.
Really?
And that's what I heard it was Fulgrim who was actually the one who did that.
Huh.
Fulgrim, I believe it's also the one, or is it Angeron, I can't remember which of the two, is the one that actually beheaded Ferrus Manus.
Fulgrim is the one that beheaded Ferrus Manus, and he's also the one that put the fatal wound on Gilliman, had him in stasis for so many years.
And apparently whatever he did, apparently, from what I've been told and that has been inferred, is that Lion actually tried to confront Fulgrim, and Fulgrim basically did to him what he had done to Gulaman, which is why there is a lot of evidence supporting, and I think GW actually came really close to admitting that, yes, the Lion has actually been in the Dark Angels headquarters the entire time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that. And talking about going back to the Silent King, I'm actually okay if it's the Silent King that's the big announcement, because I'm okay with the Necrons getting love. I'm okay that we finally got a Prime Orc, a Primarch equivalent of an Orc, right? I'm okay with other factions getting... I'm basically okay with anybody getting a Primarch other than Chaos right now. Like, anyone other than Chaos. Okay, if they want to give us a Prime Tyrannid that's like, what was his name in Mass Effect? If they had, a Harbinger version of the Tyrannids coming into the universe, I'd be okay with that. Okay? You know, that would be okay. I'm okay with anybody getting a Primarch other than Chaos right now.
Now,
If
what I want to say, you know who they'll announce, and it's going to come out of left field because everyone's going, Ryan, Fulgrim, Russ. They're going to go, ladies and gentlemen, Jagatai Khan. And everyone's going to be like, where the hell did he come from?
I'm okay with that. I'm for sure okay with that.
But I just think it'd be funny. It's just out of nowhere. It's like, here's Jagatai Khan, honestly, his name. And everyone's like, where did he come from?
Lady, I know that we share the same audiences, but on the off chance that there is someone out there who hasn't seen your work, where are all the places they can find you?
Well, my work is actually only currently available on Instagram at LadyDragon_28. If you feel so inclined, you should check out my machine club break UV lamp breaking, heretic of a child.
That was not me. I didn't do anything.
You can find them at Plague Child, also on
The
Instagram.
Plague Child.
The Plague Child, because apparently there's more than one.
No, because that's what they call it.
I am also very easily located on a YouTube channel of the Gamecraft Dragon, as I work with my husband, the Big D himself. He started actually calling us both the Gamecraft Dragon.
I'm sometimes there.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah, you guys decided to consolidate channels a while back, right? Y'all are going to be putting almost...
Because Kaiser actually made a comment of why are we basically competing against one another. So the idea is that anything 40K related or gaming related will go on our joint channel. Otherwise, the only thing that shows up on my channel are going to be my drawings, because I do take commissions. And you can see some of those also on my Instagram.
Lars says, what about Tau? And then he says ducks. You know what? I feel like every Riptide is a Primarch in a Tau army.
I stand very much behind what Alpha Busa said is about them, is that everybody is underestimating the true threat, because everyone's paying attention to the Tyranids and the Necrons and the Chaos, and they're going to get that under control, and the tower are going to come sweeping in.
Lines of Triptide wings as far as the eyes could see.
And everyone's going to be like, where did this come from? And their lady leader's going to be standing out there just going, ah!
You know those guys that are they know they're guilty and outgunned, that, when the flashing lights pull up, they are already putting their hands and assuming the position and laying on the ground.
That would not be the Imperium. The Imperium will scream,
That's
for the Emperor!
that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me when they're like, look at this new, this new release of the Tau taking over the Empire. I'm just gonna assume the position and get on the ground. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm done.
And the Chaos Primarchs are going to go, hold the heck up. We've been trying this for millennia. You are not pulling this. And yes, Hellchild, you are correct. Russ would come out, crack his neck, crack his knuckles, grab a blowjob, and then go fishing.
Archer says the only decent Tau is Farsight, and that's because he can fight in glorious melee combat. See, I knew I liked this guy for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you that when that happens, Farsight's gonna go, oh heck no. And he's gonna be like, hi, Imperium guys, please don't shoot us. We're shooting that way. Please shoot the same direction that we are. Thank you.
I love that the one that I find to be the only one I really find to be like, I like this guy, is the one that's considered a traitor by all Tau.
That would be Farsight.
Yep.
He was the one who rejected the teachings of the Ethereals when there is something very wrong here. And walked away.
All right, guys, it is time for us to sign off, but I do want to make sure that I thank all of our amazing people here in the chat tonight. We have 11 amazing people here tonight, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, spending your Friday nights with us. It started off as a really stressful night for me, and I really appreciate that, by hanging out with the Lady Dragon here and the Plague Child, chatting with you guys and just talking about hobby content, looking at some amazing art tonight. Like I've really, I'm in my hobby zen place here. Even though I broke the chat twice.
But we still love you.
Nobody tell Freak I did that. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. And like I said, you guys really have improved my mood tonight. It was a stressful night, and you guys really made my day a lot better. We also want to thank our beautiful, beautiful patrons who, of course, like I said, I've been actually, my compressor died the week before, last Saturday. And, the fact that I was able to not miss a beat, immediately go back into painting, thanks to the support you guys give us over on Patreon, really has been amazing. And it lets me keep painting and, putting out more stuff. In fact, because I have been able to paint more stuff up, I've got a few showcases coming up, and I'm excited to show that to you guys. I am going to thank our patrons now. So first of all, I'm going to reduce my mic volume a little bit. And if you guys are listening in earbuds or anything, here's your warning, because I do get a little loud. I do get a little excited. And I'm going to thank my beautiful patrons right now. And I want to start off by thanking Bloodclaw Heinrich Bartha, Bloodclaw Running Bear, Bloodclaw Richard at the Nerd Life, Bloodclaw Big Mac Danskull, Bloodclaw Brian the Mini War Mutt, Bloodclaw Big D at the Gamecraft Dragon, Bloodclaw Chief Live Gaming, Bloodclaw Inquisitor Zane, Grey Hunter Brother Roxas, Grey Hunter Zack the Crimson Painter, Wolfguard Kalo, Wolfguard Commodore Smash Captain at the Gamecraft Dragon. Oh my god, I'm going to break something again.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch.
Okay, I'll have to reveal it next week. I will break something if I touch it again. The Ultimate Wolf Lord Anonymous. The Ultimate Wolf Lord Mix. And finally, our very own Smash Captain, the Ultimate Wolf Lord Archer! Thank you guys so much for your support and all that you do to help us and support us. And like we say all the time, thanks for helping keeping this channel running. And again, hanging out with you guys is honestly the best part of what we do. So thanks for, hanging with us on a Friday night and being part of the channel. Farsight Enclaves are more technology advanced than the rest of Tau Society too, which is kind of ironic. I didn't know that. Not all Tau consider Farsight a traitor. I thought he was widely considered a traitor by the Tau Nation. Russ would call the Tau fishing. That's awesome. Luther's the one who hurt the lion at the destruction of Caliban. So he has been at the Rock this whole time. Interesting. Okay. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please go check out the Gamecraft Dragon, because Big Brother Big D, brother of the channel, and this lovely Lady Dragon here, they do shows at least twice a week. Usually there's a Taco Tuesday, and sometime on the weekend there's an F It We'll Do It Live.
Well, there's going to be an epic tomorrow, but it's going to be just me.
Hey, that is amazing content for the hobby community. So if you want to catch even more of the amazing Lady Dragon, check her out tomorrow during a live stream. Do you have an estimate time? What time you'll be going live?
Not at this time. I want to say probably about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And the Plague Child apparently will be in attendance as well. So if you want to see some more of their fantastic Necrons, 'Cause they're working on something pretty hoo-ha right now. I mean, it's pretty cool looking.
Awesome.
So yep, about 4 o'clock tomorrow, on the Gamecraft Dragon, there's going to be a paint with me, where I will probably actually be putting this lovely that I'm working on down, and probably picking up one of my large night haunts, because I still have 2 riders.
Very cool.
So I may pick it up and start doing that from the ground up and explain what I'm doing while I'm at it.
If you guys are available tomorrow, definitely go over to the Gamecraft Dragon and show Lady Dragon some love tomorrow, guys. If you guys like tonight's chat, as full of mishaps and pitfalls as it was, still had a great time hanging out with y'all and the Lady Dragon, and we saw some great art on Art of the Week. If you guys like tonight's episode, then make sure you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below if you're watching from the archives, and feel free to be part of any of these ridiculous conversations. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel or the Gamecraft Dragons channel, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here on both of these channels, including the Frosted Fist. Until next time, guys.
And don't forget, Frost and Fist recently opened a merchandise store, and you can get some pretty sexy and spicy looking gear from that.
Ooh, I
Check
think.
it out for free.
Thank you so much. That link is also below if you guys want to check that out. All right, until then.
Always forget that part.
I do always forget that part. You're right. Until next time, guys. Stay frosty.